中东局势动荡，沙特改革迫在眉睫。石油王国将如何实现2030愿景？又将如何推进女性赋权与教育？
There are some comments suggesting that the curriculum in Saudi Arabia at this moment is Wahhabi controlled. Do you agree?
No, that's not true.
风云对话专访沙特教育部部长爱哈马德艾莎，聚焦全球教育问题。沙特阿拉伯是阿拉伯半岛面积最大、经济最发达的国家。作为海外院长，并是多个教育基金会的成员。
Your Excellency, Dr. Alisa, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
So first, could you please tell us your trip to Hong Kong this time?
Well, it's a very short visit to Hong Kong to participate in the Yadan Prize ceremony today and tomorrow, and it's a good opportunity for me to meet with the people here in Hong Kong and those who comes from all over the world to participate in this event. So I will address the ceremony tomorrow by giving an example of what is happening in Saudi Arabia regarding the educational reform that we are trying to do. Well, I think the Yadan Prize is one of the biggest, prize that support educational reform and educational initiatives. And I think educators all over the world, they are looking at this type of prize as, as a mechanism to improve the educational, expertise all over the world. So I hope we will have a time to discuss tomorrow on the event about the initiatives that some countries are doing regarding the educational reform and doing new initiatives and improving education practice in different countries.
在一丹奖颁奖典礼上，香港特别行政区行政长官林郑月娥女士为2位获奖者颁发了一丹奖纯金奖牌和3000万港元奖金。长期以来，沙特阿拉伯对教育的重视程度以及教育投入占 GDP 的比重一直领跑全球。沙特政府每年的财政预算中，教育支出超过总支出的1/5。根据汇丰银行最新出炉的
Arabia provides female students with one of the largest scholarship programs in the world, which helps thousands of female students finish their even doctorate degree studies in Western universities. Can you please tell us about this project?
The custodian of the Two Holy Mosques Scholarship Program started 10 years ago, and it was initiated to support Saudi students who would like to study abroad. And we encourage students to go everywhere they want, to go to the best universities and the advanced countries and developed countries. The female, they are joining the program now. It's about 40% of the scholarship program goes to the female students.
So it's not particularly designed for female students?
No, it's designed for both men and women, but because in the past, the female, they have less opportunities to travel abroad. Now it's an open, scholarship program for men and women to go anywhere they want. And of course, in China, we have about 400 or 500 students studying in different universities.
鼓励人才，实行免费教育。沙特的一系列政策离不开良好的经济发展基础。然而，沙特的社会发展进程却一直饱受争议。女性权利、宗教教育是有关沙特的重要而又敏感的话题。结婚等方面，还需获得家中男性成员的同意。
Can you please tell us about the girls' education, scenario in Saudi Arabia?
Well, we have now the female students are more than male students, and across all the educational levels. So it's a separated schools. The female, they have their own schools, and male, they have their own schools. But at the planning level and at the execution, we do have the same policies and same curriculum and same programs that for both, you know. But at the real school practice, they have different schools and separated schools. And universities, they have men and women at the same universities, but usually the women, they have their own campuses, and the male, they have their own campuses.
Mm. Actually, the female students in even higher educations in Saudi Arabia not only outnumbered the male counterparts,
yes.
In your country also outnumbered those in Lebanon, in Tunisia, in Jordan, you know,
yes.
some other Arab countries. However, if you look at the labor force markets, not so many, you know, females with good education background stayed. Why is that?
Yeah, the number of students in higher education now is about 60% female, and yes, there are some challenges about the jobs opportunities and availabilities for women, but now the market is opening to accept a lot of females. And we see them, you know, doing a lot of improvement in terms of the way they seek to.
Before the change that is probably
yes.
coming, not so many well-educated females stay in the labor force market. Do you think that's mostly because, you know, the employers, or because, you know, some influence from the families?
Actually, there are a lot of changes now in the job market in Saudi Arabia. There is no differences on the payment or on the wages for male or females, and the market is opening to accept more females at different levels. So it's if you go now anywhere in Saudi Arabia, and in businesses, in hotels, and the energy sector or in the educational sectors, you will find the female everywhere. They work side by side with the male, and they are competing, you know.
Right. And next year the females are going to be able to drive.
Yes, yes.
How is that accepted in the public in your country?
It was a very big shift, you know, in the way that female, they are, you know, handling their own choices, and so the driving was one of the obstacles that sometimes make, you know, challenges for women to go to work or to schools or to universities. Now it's a different situation.
中东局势动荡，沙特改革迫在眉睫。石油王国将如何实现2030愿景？又将如何推进女性赋权与教育？
There are some comments suggesting that the curriculum in Saudi Arabia at this moment is Wahhabi controlled. Do you agree?
No, that's not true.
风云对话专访沙特教育部部长爱哈迈德艾莎，聚焦全球教育问题。中东局势动荡，沙特改革迫在眉睫。石油王国将如何实现2030愿景？又将如何推进女性赋权与教育改革？
There are some comments suggesting that the curriculum in Saudi Arabia at this moment is Wahhabi controlled. Do you agree?
No, that's not true.
风云对话专访沙特教育部部长爱哈迈德艾莎，聚焦全球教育问题。 正如之前艾莎部长所说，在女性赋权问题上，沙特正在做出改变。而另一个谈到沙特无法回避的，则是宗教问题。沙特是世界上宗教气氛最浓的国家，甚至在课程设置和教材编写上也出现过分偏重宗教的现象。这些带有宗教色彩的教材在公立教育系统中，从小学1年级便被开始使用，且宣传力度随着年级的上升而增大。11月4日晚，沙特国王萨勒曼发布国王令，成立最高反腐委员会。就在几天后，艾莎部长在其个人社交网站发声，必须要提出的是，老师失败地履行自己的义务，也是一种腐败。
When it comes to the educational reform, well, there are some comments suggesting that maybe the curriculum designing in Saudi Arabia is not exactly fitting for, what 21st century market needs. What do you think of that?
Maybe you hear that the government launched last year the Vision 2030 of Saudi Arabia, and that vision explains how the country will move in the next 15 years in terms of the economy, in terms of the development at all sectors. So education is the driving force for changes that we see. It's very important to adopt a new curriculum and new technology in the classrooms and different school settings.
How is a new setting going to be different from the current one?
We are introducing a lot of technology now in the classrooms, and we are changing the curriculum from a content-based curriculum to a competencies-based curriculum. We are doing a lot of teacher training programs to develop the skills of our teachers. We are trying to change the philosophy of education, to change the way that teachers are teaching in the classrooms. So we are shifting from memorization to inquiry-based education, to giving students more opportunities to ask questions, to participate in the classrooms, to use technology to interact with teachers, with the parents, with so there are a lot of changes that we are trying to do. So we have new curriculum standards that we developed in the last 2 years. The way that the school time and the school environment is changing a lot, and so we are trying to do a lot of a lot of work inside the schools to change the environment. For example, this year we introduced 1 hour extracurricular activities in which we are giving students and teachers, more time to work on different projects that they are interested in, instead of just giving them a specific curriculum. So we are giving them flexibility to explore more projects and more exercises in the schools.
Well, there are some comments suggesting that the curriculum in Saudi Arabia at this moment is Wahhabi controlled. Do you agree?
No, that's not true. Of course, the religion is one of the part of the values and the subjects that we teach in the schools, but we are doing a lot of support to make the curriculum more open. Tolerance is very important in the schools. And we are teaching the students, a lot of foreign languages, science, technology, mathematics, and So it's not really focusing on the Islamic teaching schools. It's an open.
沙特王储穆罕默德在去年推出2030愿景，试图通过对国防、外交、经济和社会改革的4轮驱动，塑造一个大胆改革者的形象，实现沙特的转型。穆罕默德在改革中提出回归温和伊斯兰，在本质上就是要改变沙特目前依法哈比主义立国的现状。作为连接亚非欧3大洲的中枢，沙特2030愿景的一大支柱是要凭借其特有的战略位置，转型成为连接3大洲的国际。
So you paid a visit to Beijing earlier this year with your king.
Yes.
How's the visit?
It was a very nice visit. Actually, we had a chance to meet with the Chinese leaders, and I talked to the Chinese Minister of Education, and we had it was a very big agenda that was covered during the visit.
Yeah, what did you talk to your Chinese counterpart in Beijing?
Well, actually, we have a very good cooperation and relationship between our two countries. And we'd like to expand that relationship and to explore new opportunities for cooperation, especially at the higher education level, because we want our universities to work with Chinese universities in different, projects or programs. We would like to see more Saudi students coming to China to study. And in higher education there are a lot of exchange programs that we can develop in the future. We can help our universities to have joint programs, to have exchange of faculty, students, the students visit to China. So that's an area that we support, and China is a very important country for us.
Well, China is one of the biggest investors in Saudi Arabia at the moment, isn't it?
That's add a lot of areas that we can develop to help the business side with the educational side, because our universities, they are doing a lot of research and new economy and the energy and the business and the health sector. And so with this kind of cooperation with China, we can introduce a lot of programs together.
Right. So you're going to deliver a speech tomorrow.
Yes.
What's the main message you're going to send out?
Well, my message is that if you look at the Chinese civilization and you look at the Arab civilizations, we had a long history, good cooperation in the past. So we can explore this to develop it in the future. So we can, as a people of Saudi Arabia and the Arab countries, I think we can work with the Chinese in the future to make the cooperation and to can support each other in different fields. Education is one of these areas.